All right, so today we're going to be taking a deep dive into Australia's visa priorities for 2025.
Sounds good.
And we're going to be using a video from Next Step Immigration as our guide.
Okay.
It's called the Australia Visa Priorities 2025 Big Changes Ahead. And whether you're thinking about maybe making a move down under or just curious about like global immigration trends,
Right.
this deep dive is going to be like your express ticket to understanding what's changing
Yeah,
and why it matters to you.
definitely. I think it's really interesting to see how Australia is becoming increasingly strategic with their immigration policies.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just about welcoming people anymore.
Right.
It's really about attracting the right talent
Yeah.
to build a sustainable future.
So they're like tailoring their immigration to
It's
fit
huge.
their long-term goals.
Yeah, and their visa system is divided into three main categories.
Okay.
You've got skilled migration family visas and temporary visas.
Okay.
Each category serves a specific purpose, and all three are undergoing significant changes in 2025.
Okay, so let's break down these shifting priorities.
What?
What's driving these changes in 2025?
Well, Australia's trying to tackle
Yeah.
several things at once. Boosting economic growth,
Okay.
addressing demographic shifts like
Oh.
an aging population,
Right.
and even responding to geopolitical factors.
Wow.
It's like a multi-layered strategy.
Okay, that's a lot to juggle.
Yeah.
Let's start with skilled migration.
Okay.
I understand that Australia is putting a huge emphasis on attracting talent to fill specific gaps
Absolutely.
in their workforce.
Yeah, they're zeroing in on industries
Right.
that are key for future growth.
Yeah.
Tech and innovation are at the top of the list.
Yeah.
We're talking software engineering, data science,
Uh-huh.
and anything related to green energy technologies.
So if you're a software developer with a passion for sustainability,
Yeah,
Australia might be your perfect match.
you got it. But it's not just about tech.
Right.
Healthcare is another major priority.
Yeah.
Australia is facing an aging population, which means they need more nurses, GPs, aged care specialists,
Okay.
and mental health professionals.
Got it.
The demand in these fields is skyrocketing.
And speaking of things that need building,
Yeah,
Australia has got some massive infrastructure projects
that's
in the works, right?
Mm-hmm.
I read about the Sydney Metro West project.
Yeah.
Sounds like a huge undertaking.
It is. And for projects like that, Australia needs
Yeah.
skilled civil engineers and project managers to bring these ambitious plans to life.
So it's almost like they're conducting a nationwide talent search.
Yeah.
Fascinating. All right, now what about student visas?
Okay.
What's happening in that area?
Australia is shaking things up with student visas as well.
Okay.
They've introduced something called Ministerial Direction 111,
Okay.
which aims to make the application process
Uh-huh.
fairer for students applying to
Oh.
suit a wider range of educational institutions.
So it's not just about the big name universities anymore.
Exactly.
Right.
This means you have a better chance of getting a student visa, even if you choose to study at a lesser known
Yeah.
but excellent institution.
Right.
And it allows Australian universities to diversify their student body
Right.
and bring in new perspectives,
Yeah.
which is a win-win for everyone involved.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So it benefits both the students and the institutions.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to family visas.
Okay.
Keeping families together is obviously crucial,
Mm-hmm.
but it sounds like Australia is trying to make the process.
Yes, there's a big push to streamline the process
Okay.
and tackle those notoriously long processing times,
Right.
especially for partner visas.
Okay.
They're trying to strike a balance
Yeah,
between reunification and efficiency.
that makes sense. And what about parents?
Sure.
It's important for families to be able to bring their parents over as well.
Absolutely. Australia's expanding the contributory parent visa program for those who can afford it.
Right.
But they're also aware that not everyone can shoulder
Yeah.
that financial burden.
Right.
So they're introducing more affordable, long-term, temporary parent visas
Okay.
to provide more flexible options.
It's great that they're trying to create pathways for families of all income levels.
Yeah.
Now temporary visas are constantly evolving
Right.
to meet changing needs.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the key trends that we're seeing in 2025?
Well, student visas are becoming even more attractive,
Okay.
particularly for those studying in those high-demand fields we mentioned earlier.
Right.
There's a strong emphasis on providing post-study work opportunities,
Okay.
which could lead to longer stays in Australia.
So it's not just about studying.
Right.
It's about potentially building a future in Australia.
Yeah, plus they're using technology
Okay.
to streamline the process.
hmm
This means faster processing times
Right.
and a smoother, more user-friendly. Application experience.
Okay.
They're making it easier for international students
Right.
to choose Australia.
And what about those iconic working holiday visas?
Okay.
Those are still a popular option.
Absolutely. The Working Holiday Visa program remains strong,
Yeah.
and we may even see new bilateral agreements
Okay.
with other countries, which would create even more opportunities
Right.
for young people to work and travel in Australia. It's a fantastic way to immerse yourself in the culture,
Yeah.
gain valuable work experience,
Right.
and maybe even decide to stay long-term.
It's the perfect blend of adventure and opportunity.
Yeah.
And what about short-term work visas?
Okay.
Are there any changes in that area?
Yes. Short-term work visas are becoming more targeted.
Okay.
They're fine-tuning visas like the temporary skill shortage visa to address immediate labor shortages
Okay.
in sectors like agriculture and hospitality,
Right.
which often rely on seasonal or temporary workers.
So they're really trying to be responsive to the immediate needs
Yeah.
of the labor market. That's important for economic stability.
Right.
Now, Australia has a strong commitment to humanitarian efforts.
Yeah.
What are they doing in 2025 to uphold that commitment?
They're stepping up their refugee intake,
Okay.
especially for people from regions impacted by climate change and conflict. This includes expanding community sponsorship programs, which empower local communities to support refugees directly.
Okay.
They're also introducing new measures to help individuals
Right.
displaced by environmental disasters.
It's encouraging to see a nation taking concrete steps to address these global challenges. But even with these positive changes, there are bound to be challenges.
Of course.
In any immigration system, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
Despite efforts to streamline the system,
yeah.
application backlogs can still be a reality.
Right.
Visa fees are also on the rise. And keeping up with policy changes can feel like a full-time job in itself.
That's true. While streamlining is a positive step,
Yeah.
it's important to acknowledge the frustration
Right.
of those facing potential delays. What's being done to address these backlogs?
That's an ongoing process.
Okay.
And the government is working to improve processing times
Right.
and communication with applicants.
Okay.
But for now, it's crucial for potential applicants
Yeah.
to be aware of these challenges and be prepared for a potentially lengthy process.
So being proactive and informed is key.
Yeah.
Despite these challenges, Australia seems to be offering a wide range of opportunities.
Absolutely. We're talking about tailored pathways for skilled professionals,
Yep.
enhanced post-study work options for international students,
Uh-huh.
and a growing emphasis on regional migration,
Right.
which often comes with a unique lifestyle
Okay.
and attractive incentives.
So it sounds like they're encouraging people to explore all corners of Australia, not just the major cities.
They're saying, come discover all that Australia has to offer.
So to sum it up for our listeners,
Okay.
Australia is open for business, but they're being selective about who they welcome.
Right.
They're looking for individuals who can contribute to their economy, society, and future.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And they're making a concerted effort to streamline the process
Right.
and create more pathways for people to make Australia their new home.
Yeah.
But it's important to be prepared, informed, and patient
Right.
because navigating the visa system can be complex.
Solid advice. We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive, but there's still much more to explore.
Definitely.
Join us in part 2, where we'll delve deeper into specific visa categories.
Yeah.
Share insider tips for a smooth application process.
Sounds good.
And uncover those hidden gems that might just make your Australian dream a reality.
We'll also take a closer look at the broader implications of these immigration trends. Stay tuned.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Australian visa priorities for 2025.
Okay.
We've laid the groundwork,
Right.
but now it's time to roll up our sleeves
Yeah.
and dig into the specifics of those visa categories that we touched on earlier.
All right, let's start with the skilled migration stream.
Okay.
It's really the cornerstone of Australia's immigration strategy. As we discussed, they're laser-focused on attracting talent in high-demand fields
Right.
to fuel their economic growth.
We talked about tech and healthcare being major priorities, but for someone listening who's thinking okay, this sounds like me,
Right.
but what are my actual options? Can
Yeah.
we break down some specific visa pathways?
Absolutely. One popular option is the Skilled Independent Visa,
Okay.
also known as the 189 visa.
Okay.
This visa uses a points-based system.
Okay.
You earn points based on factors like your age, work experience, English language skills, and qualifications.
So it's all about showcasing what you bring to the table.
Precisely, the higher your score,
Yeah.
the better your chances of receiving an invitation to apply for the visa.
Okay.
However, keep in mind that the points threshold for certain occupations
Yeah.
can be quite high,
Right.
especially in those super in-demand fields we talked about.
So how can someone make their application stand out in a competitive field?
Specialization is key.
Okay.
If you have niche skills within your profession,
Uh-huh.
that can give you a significant advantage.
Right.
For instance, while software engineers are generally in demand, if you specialize in cybersecurity or artificial intelligence,
Okay.
your value increases significantly.
It's about finding your unique edge.
Exactly.
That's special, something that sets you apart.
And don't underestimate the importance of networking.
Okay.
Attending industry events, connecting with recruiters online, or reaching out to professionals already working in Australia can open doors you might not have even considered.
Building those connections can make a world of difference.
Yeah.
Now, what if someone isn't quite ready for the independent route?
Okay.
Are there other pathways for skilled migration?
Definitely, the skilled nominated visa, or 190 visa,
Right.
is a great option for those who can secure a nomination from a state or territory government.
So it's like having a local sponsor vouching for your skills and saying, we need this person in our region.
That's a great analogy.
Okay.
And each state and territory has its own list of occupations
Right.
they're looking to fill. So it's worth researching which regions
Yeah.
have the highest demand for your particular skill set.
It's all about finding the right fit.
Right.
And let's not forget about regional migration.
Yep.
Australia is offering some pretty attractive incentives.
That's right.
For skilled workers who are willing to venture outside the major cities.
We're talking about benefits like priority processing,
Okay.
access to special visa categories, and even financial assistance in some cases.
Wow.
Plus, you get to experience a different side of Australia,
Yeah.
often with a more relaxed pace of life
Right.
and a strong sense of community.
Sounds appealing.
Yeah.
Now, for those already in Australia on a temporary visa,
Okay.
the temporary graduate visa or 485 visa offers a pathway to stay and work after graduation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This visa allows graduates of certain Australian institutions to gain practical experience in their field,
Right.
build their networks, and potentially transition to permanent residency.
Okay.
But it's essential to remember that the length of the 485 visa
Yeah.
depends on your specific qualifications and field of study.
So it's crucial to do your homework
Yeah.
and make sure you meet the requirements.
Right.
All right, let's switch gears and talk about family visas.
Okay.
We touched on the importance of family reunification earlier. What are some of the key changes coming in 2025?
The government is focused on streamlining the partner visa process and reducing those lengthy processing times.
Right.
They're also expanding the contributory parent visa program, which allows parents of Australian citizens and permanent residents
Yeah.
to immigrate more quickly, but at a higher cost.
It's about finding that balance between speed and affordability.
Right. And for those who may not be able to afford the contributory parent visa,
Yeah.
there are more affordable long-term temporary parent visas available.
Okay.
It's all about creating options that work for different families.
It's great that they're providing more flexibility.
Yeah.
Now, what I find interesting is how Australia is broadening its definition of family. It's not just about the nuclear family anymore.
Absolutely. Their policies are becoming more inclusive.
Okay.
Recognizing de facto partners, same-sex couples, and blended families.
Right.
They're acknowledging the diverse realities of modern family structures.
It's a positive shift toward recognizing that families come in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to temporary visas. We've got student visas, working holiday visas, and short-term work visas.
Right.
What's new and noteworthy in 2025?
Well, student visas are becoming even more appealing, especially for those in high-demand fields.
Right.
We're seeing extended post-study work opportunities, faster processing times, and a smoother application experience thanks to technology.
So they're really making Australia a more attractive destination for international students.
Yes. They're rolling out the red carpet, so to speak.
Okay.
And for those who want a taste of the Australian lifestyle,
Yeah.
the working holiday visa program is still going strong.
Uh-huh.
We might even see new agreements with other countries,
Okay.
creating even more opportunities for young people to work and travel down under.
It's the perfect way to experience Australia's vibrant culture and stunning landscapes.
Yeah.
Now, what about those short-term work visas?
Okay.
Are there any updates in that area?
Short-term work visas are becoming more targeted
Okay.
to address immediate labor shortages in specific sectors.
Such as agriculture and hospitality.
Right.
These industries often rely on seasonal or temporary workers,
Okay.
and these visas are designed to meet those needs.
It's a practical approach to filling those critical gaps in the workforce.
Yeah.
Now, Australia has a strong commitment to humanitarian aid and welcoming refugees.
Right.
How are they continuing those efforts in 2025?
They're increasing their refugee intake,
Okay.
particularly for those from regions heavily impacted by climate change and conflict.
Right.
They're expanding community sponsorship programs,
I don't know.
which allow local communities to directly support refugees. And they're introducing measures to assist those displaced by environmental disasters.
It's heartening to see Australia stepping up and playing a role in addressing these global challenges.
Yeah.
But as we discussed earlier, even with all these positive changes, there are bound to be challenges in managing such a complex system, right?
Of course, despite their efforts, application backlogs can still occur.
Right.
Visa fees are also increasing.
Yeah. And staying up to date on policy changes can be overwhelming.
Yeah, it can feel like a moving target sometimes,
Exactly.
especially with so much information out there.
That's why it's so important to be prepared,
Yeah.
do your research,
Sure.
and seek professional guidance if needed.
Okay.
A registered migration agent can be incredibly helpful
Right.
in navigating the complexities of the Australian visa system.
So they're like your immigration guide, helping you navigate the complexities of the system.
Precisely. And remember, the keys to success are preparation, information, and patience.
Okay.
The Australian visa system can be complex and time-consuming,
Right.
but with the right approach, it's definitely manageable.
So while there might be challenges,
Yeah,
the opportunities are definitely there.
absolutely.
Australia seems to be offering a diverse range of pathways.
We talked about tailored pathways for skilled professionals,
Right.
attractive post-study work options for international students,
Uh-huh.
and the growing appeal of regional migration with its unique lifestyle and incentives.
Yeah, it's about finding the right fit for your individual skills goals
Exactly.
and lifestyle preferences.
Australia's saying, come explore what we have to offer.
Right.
There's a place for you here.
Yeah.
But it's crucial to be prepared, informed, and patient.
Mm-hmm.
Because the visa process can be a journey.
Great advice. We've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
focusing on the nitty-gritty details of those visa categories. Join us in part 3, where we'll step back and look at the bigger picture,
Okay.
exploring the human side of immigration,
Right.
the ethical considerations,
Yeah.
and some practical tips to help you navigate your own Australian adventure. Stay tuned.
All right. Sounds good.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into Australia's visa priorities for 2025.
Okay.
You know, we've explored like the ins and outs of the system,
Yeah.
but now I want to kind of like zoom out a little bit
Right.
and look at the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
What do these immigration trends mean, like on a global scale?
That's a fascinating question. What's striking is how interconnected immigration is becoming
Yeah,
with other global challenges.
right.
Climate change, economic shifts,
Mhm.
geopolitical events, it's
Yeah.
all intertwined.
Like a giant web, right? You
It
tug on one thread, it
Mhm.
affects the whole structure.
Yeah.
You know, we're seeing more and more people being displaced by climate change,
Yeah.
for example,
Mhm.
leading to like new migration patterns and humanitarian needs.
Exactly. And on the economic front,
Yeah.
the competition for skilled talent is heating up.
Right.
Countries are vying for the best and brightest minds to drive innovation and economic growth.
Yeah.
This raises important questions about
Yeah.
how we balance national interests
Yeah.
with individual rights.
It's a complex balancing act.
Yeah.
On the one hand, countries need to attract skilled workers
Huh.
to thrive.
Yeah.
But what about the impact on the countries that people are leaving? There's the concern about brain drain and its effects on development.
It's a valid concern.
Yeah.
And it underscores the need for a more nuanced approach to immigration policy,
Right.
one that considers the needs of both sending and receiving countries,
Yeah.
perhaps focusing on partnerships and knowledge exchange,
Mm.
could help mitigate some of those negative impacts.
It's about finding solutions that benefit everyone involved.
Exactly.
Okay, so before we wrap up, I know our listeners are probably wondering,
Yeah.
what does this all mean for me?
Right.
Like, where do I even begin?
Well, if you're thinking about making Australia your new home, the first step is thorough research.
Okay.
Figure out which visa category aligns best with your circumstances
Right.
and goals.
The Australian Department of Home Affairs website
Yeah,
is a great place to start, right?
absolutely. They have a comprehensive guide to all the visa options
Okay.
with detailed information on eligibility application processes and fees. It can feel overwhelming,
Yeah.
but it's all laid out there.
And what about getting professional help? Okay.
Is that something you would recommend?
A registered migration agent can be a lifesaver,
Okay.
especially if you're feeling lost or unsure about the process. They can provide personalized advice,
Right.
help you gather the right documentation,
Yeah.
and even submit your application on your behalf.
But they're like your immigration guide,
Precisely.
helping you navigate the complexities of the system.
And remember, the keys to success are preparation information and patience.
Right.
The Australian visa system can be complex and time-consuming,
Yeah.
but with the right approach, it's definitely manageable.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
what's the key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
The world is becoming increasingly interconnected, and immigration plays a central role in shaping our future. It's a journey filled with challenges and opportunities,
Right.
both for individuals seeking a new life and for the global community as a whole.
It's a reminder that behind the policies and the statistics
Yeah.
are real people.
With dreams, aspirations, and a desire for a better future.
Exactly. And as we navigate this ever-evolving landscape,
Yeah.
it's crucial to approach immigration with empathy, understanding, and a commitment to finding solutions that benefit everyone involved.
Well said. We hope this deep dive has provided valuable insights into Australia's visa priorities for 2025 and sparked some curiosity about the wider world of immigration.
Definitely.
You know, if you're considering Australia as your next destination, we encourage you to explore the possibilities
Yeah,
and see where your journey might lead.
absolutely.
And remember, no matter where you go in the world,
Yeah.
embrace curiosity, be kind, and be open to new experiences.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
We'll catch you next time for another fascinating exploration of the world around us. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. Until next time, happy exploring.